Hey there, Mission. I'm Tim Brown from Rick Brown Family Funeral Home, and I want to invite you to join me on Commerce Conversation, the business, community, and innovation here in Mission, Texas, the official podcast of the Greater Mission Chamber of Commerce. You know, each episode, we're bringing you exclusive interviews with local business leaders, entrepreneurs, and change makers who are living right here in the Rio Grande Valley doing business here in Mission. They're driving innovation in our community. We will dive deep into the issues that matter to you, the business growth to community events and everything that comes in between. You can catch this podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Make sure to subscribe. Never miss an episode. If you miss one episode, you miss a lot, so don't miss an episode. We're excited to share the latest in business and community news with you. We'll see you on the Commerce Conversation. Welcome again to Commerce Conversation, business, community, innovation, where we talk about business here in the city of Mission and how our community can support you in the innovative ways that the Greater Mission Chamber of Commerce can help you and your business grow and raise awareness about your organization. I'm your host, Tim Brown, Rick Brown Family Funeral Home, and today we're going to learn more about the events that are happening here in the city of Mission in the new year. But first, I want to recognize a few of our sponsors of our upcoming events. You know, it's important. There's so many people that support the community and they support the Chamber of Commerce, and we want them to be recognized. You know, we have an upcoming on December the 5th and 6th at the Mission Event Center. We have our annual health fair, and a couple of the big sponsors that are really taking part of this is Cano & Sons Trucking, Mission Regional Medical Center, Nuestra Clínica de Valle, and Waterford Gardens Assisted Living. Also, on February the 5th, we're going to have our Buenas Tardes Luncheon, and those donors are going to be J&S Construction. They're sponsoring the event, and we're going to learn more about what they do in just a few moments and what they have to offer. So I want to thank all of you for tuning in today. Whether you're a chamber member or not, we are glad that you've tuned in to hear what we can do for you. Today, I'm joined by my good friend, Amy Tijerina. Hi, Amy.
Hi, how are you?
I am well, thank you. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So I tease Amy. I say Amy is the Swiss Army knife of the city of Mission. She can do it all. But I've known Amy for a long time, and so recently I think you took on a couple of different roles, right? So you have two titles. You're the Community Events Director and the Texas Citrus Fiesta Director. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's a lot going on. So before the podcast, I got a chance to talk to Amy just a little bit, and there's a lot that she does. So number one, she puts on 42 annual events here in the city of Mission. Every January, she also, on top of those 42 events, she organizes the Texas Citrus Fiesta and all of the happenings that go on there. Also, any street dedication, any painting ceremony, whether that be with the police department, wherever it happens to be, she's involved in all that. So obviously, she's extremely involved in the city. This is going to be a great episode, learning about what's coming up in the future and learning a little bit about what makes Amy tick here. So today's episode is all about the great things that are happening here in the city of Mission. We'll be exploring some community engagement and support for activities that are happening this holiday season and all throughout 2025. All right, Amy, you ready?
Ready.
This is the part you shine at. So, Amy, I want to know, you do so much for the city of Mission. You're very involved. There's got to be something that kind of brought you to the point where you said, I am willing to look at this more than just a 40-hour job. I'm willing to really take a part in it. Is there something or someone, maybe an event that happened that has made you really want to take a role and take a part in the city of Mission that's brought you to who you are today?
Well, I was born and raised here, Tim. I love our city. Our city is home. There are no words to describe how proud I am of our great city of Mission. I think what inspired me the most, a little food for thought, I worked for the Mission Police Department 15 years ago.
Okay.
I left to raise my girls and to be a mom. I started off with Chief Leo Longoria. He brought me into the police department as a crime analyst. When I left, during that time, unfortunately, we had our officer, Speedy Cueta, pass away, and that's when I came back to be involved in our city. Chief Dominguez called me and said, Amy, we need you. We need you to be able to spearhead his funeral and help me. I need your help. So I gladly came back and volunteered for that, and I think that really opened my eyes that I needed to do more for our community and our citizens. I realized then, he was like a brother to us. Yeah. I'm also a Mission Police officer, wife and sister. So it really hit home when he passed. and I think God spoke to me and showed me that my job would be to serve others, that he has me on this earth to serve others, and it's not even a job to me. I love what I do. I love helping others. I love our community. I love my calling, and that's good. Definitely my calling.
You know, so many people talk to me about Speedy's passing and what it impacted them, but one of the things that always comes to my mind is out of the ashes, so much beauty has happened for this city. And, you know, you coming back to the city and all the things that you do, you know, from seeing such a tragedy, I mean, what a great testimony to the impact that Speedy had on this community. Yeah. So tell me a little bit, and I don't know if you can do this, it's going to be the hardest question. What does a typical day look like for Amy Tijerina?
Juggle, a lot of juggling. I run, sometimes 4 to 5 events a month. I'm definitely a people pleaser. I don't know I'm not a no girl. I don't say no. I try to help others. It's from being at meetings, meeting with business owners, meeting with our community members. I'm very blessed that I have citizens come and want to visit with me and let me know their concerns or how we can help in the community, or reaching out if that they need assistance, whether it be their children need some clothes, or they would really like to see a certain event here happening in our city. Just running, literally always.
Well, it sounds like it'd be a fun job.
It is. It's very rewarding. At times it can be a lot, but then, I have a lot of God's grace in me, and I love what I do, and I love helping others in the community. It's a lot of you have to be very, very organized to
well, you seem to be organized and fit the bill there. So a couple of questions for you. So I've looked at the calendar coming up for the City of Mission for the next couple of months. What do you have in the plan for the next year? What's going on in the new year?
So we have a lot coming. I can just go over a little bit of stuff. December 28th, we have the Cops for Kids Joy Drive, and that's going to happen at the Mission Event Center. We also have Adopt a Grandparent Day. I really, really love that event. If I can specify a little bit on that, Tim. So on November 1st, we will be having boxes for our Cops Kids for Toy Drive and Adopt Our Grandparents here at the Mission Police Department, at the City of Mission, and local businesses. And what Adopt a Grandparent is, we started that event 2 years ago. We collect blankets, board games, socks, anything an elderly might need. There for the nursing homes. It gives us time to spend with those elderly that don't have family down, that can go visit them during the holidays. Mm-hmm. We want them to know that they are loved in our community. Our biggest pride, I think, here at the City of Mission is to know that everyone here is family.
So I have some questions for you. So number one, Cops for Kids, is that where we can drop off toys and they will distribute them? What is Cops for Kids?
Cops for Kids Toy Drive, what we do is that we have a huge event for our children that their parents don't have to give them Christmas. Okay. So we have a huge event at the Mission Event Center. We have Santa come and give out toys to the children that are in need of toys that year. We also feed our children. We have rides, games, and that's one thing I would love to let the community know. There's one thing that I'm very blessed that we have such amazing leaders in our community and amazing business owners that always sponsor our events and help. It's a team effort.
So I guess my question is, number one, you have the Cops for Kids, and then we have the opposite side of the spectrum. We have for the grandparents.
Yes.
So can community members contact you and donate stuff?
Yes, most definitely. Okay. Yes.
And so that can be done. And then the second question I have for you, which I think I would enjoy even, so the adopted grandparents, can community members go with you when you're distributing those?
Yes. We welcome community members to go with us. We take Santa with us. Our mayor, our council go with us. This year we have our students going to sing Christmas carols for them. Wow. We just make a day of celebration to celebrate them.
Both of those are really great programs.
Yes.
That's going to be exciting.
I'm very
excited. All right. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to get involved. I will do that.
Awesome. I appreciate you.
I've got 6 kids I'm giving gifts to. They're my kids, but I can definitely do something to adopt a grandparent. We're going to do that.
Awesome.
Okay. What else you got?
So in January, we have Texas Citrus Fiesta.
Does that one keep you a little busy?
That one keeps me a little busy. It's a great great tradition. I take pride in the Texas Citrus Fiesta. Growing up, my grandparents worked for Texas Citrus Fiesta.
Really?
So it's been a part of my family. And of course, the City of Mission's tradition. If you're born and raised here, you take very much pride in that. My daughters were also part of the Tangerine Court. So it's something that I hold dear to my heart. I really enjoy that.
I mentioned this on one of the previous podcasts. I can remember as a kid, my dad was always building a float. And so the day before the parade was always one of my favorite days. And he had about 14 different slicers out there. And we would slice oranges and grapefruit and staple those onto the float. Just yesterday on my social media, someone actually sent me a message and they asked me, do you remember that old Buick? And my dad was I don't know if you knew my dad, but my dad was crazy. He always had something up his sleeve. So he went to a junkyard, got an old Buick and cut it down and built a float that would self-drive. And so would take it through. And so every year, that was all he lived for, was stapling these oranges and grapefruit. And, growing up here in Mission, I don't know if I'd grown up anywhere else I would have experiences like that.
Exactly.
And you're keeping that alive for everybody.
Thank you.
I'm sure Texas Citrus Fiesta is going to keep you busy.
Yes, and we're super excited. So we have our product show on January the 21st.
Okay.
Then we have our coronation on the 23rd. We have our Royal Ball on the 25th, and the Parade of Oranges also on the 25th. So a little excitement this year. Anybody that knows the traditions of Texas Citrus Fiesta, we kind of went back to the original. Texas Citrus Fiesta has been around since 1932. So now this year we will be announcing our new Royal Court at the Royal Ball this year. So we're super excited about that. Also, I wanted to let our community know that there's one thing that I take pride in our city is that all our events are free for our community, Tim. We never, we don't charge. It's just the mayor, council, our city manager, it's very important for them to have these events to bring our community together. We are a huge town now, but we still have that community of hometown love and taking care of one another and just being a family here in the city of Mission.
Well, I know that the mayor and our city council, they think a lot about quality of life. And obviously every event like this, that brings quality of life, something that people can do. It doesn't cost them a penny. They can come out and really enjoy themselves. But thank you for organizing all that. That is awesome. Okay, so the next question I have for you is, how do you engage the community in the planning process? And sitting on the chamber board, it seems like we are oftentimes partnering with you on one way or the other. And so I know that part of getting the community involved is through the Chamber of Commerce. Obviously, y'all work with us, we work with you. There's a lot of events that we have at the event center and vice versa. So is there any one specific way that you see that really helps get the community involved?
It's meeting with our citizens, really. I enjoy that. They come out and reach out to me and say, Miss Amy, we really need help in this. That we make sure here in our city that we organize events that are going to benefit our citizens. For example, we have staycation in the month of spring break.
I forgot about that.
Yes,
that's
that's an amazing one. So that one brings the children together and something to do during spring break. For the children that are not able to go out for vacation or that their parents are working during spring break, it gives our community that sense of fun, right? And
it's safe.
And it's safe, yes. So really, it's just listening to our citizens and their needs.
That's awesome. I forgot about staycation, but I remember seeing some of the pictures last year. That was a huge event.
Yes, it's grown. We started off with maybe 500 citizens participating. Now I have over 3,000.
Wow, 3,000.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's one of the questions that I have in my life oftentimes is, how do we measure success of certain things? And, I've learned that sometimes success isn't the number of people that show up to an event. Sometimes success is what comes out. But in your world, you're the event planner, you're the Texas Citrus Fiesta. When you plan an event such as maybe the sister cities or, Citrus Fiesta, but even staycation, what measures of success are you looking for? What qualifies it as a successful event when it's all said and done?
The smiles.
The smiles.
When I see all our citizens smiling and they're happy, that's what makes my job worthwhile. Nothing else but the smiles and the love and just feeling the presence, God's grace is what gets me.
That's great.
Yes.
That's amazing. Okay, so there you go. If you see Amy at an event, make sure you give her a smile. She doesn't get a paycheck. She works for smiles, so make sure you do that, all right? So, the future is always a hard one to guess. I lost my crystal ball a few years ago, so I don't have any way of knowing the future. But in your opinion, what are some of the things that you see that are influencing our community events in these coming years? In my mind, I obviously think safety. We live in a day and age where we can turn on the news almost any given day and see some sort of, drastic disaster going on, or, and I don't want to say terrorist, but you understand what I'm saying.
Right.
And so I would think that as we're bringing a large crowd together, that's something that you've had to deal with over the past few years. But do you see anything on the horizon in the next few years that you're concerned about, or that may be influencing events in the city of Mission?
I think we're moving in a positive impact here in our city. I think our events will grow even more, and will bring more, because I also work with the police department, and the Chief Torres is very good about advocating and the safety. We do plan a lot. We do work a lot with our school districts and their needs and what they're needing. We just recently did an event for kindness, a kindness walk, and to bring that unity, and to teach our children, not only our children but our citizens, that everybody sometimes just has a hard day, and kindness goes a long way. So it's just about bringing good, positive events to our community, and anything that will just make our world a better place. Anything that will help someone.
It's interesting you say sometimes everybody has a hard day, and that's one of the things I try to teach my daughters. Sometimes they'll come home from HEB and say, "Man, the cashier was so rude," and I always try to stress to them, we don't know what that cashier went through today. She may still be at work, even though her dog got ran over on her way to work. We don't know what happened. And so being kind, the smiles that you were talking about, those go a long ways oftentimes. When we talk about the future and what affects and influences the events, one of the things that I've always noticed about the City of Mission that I hope never changes is that it seems like all our community events, politics stays out of it. You have the mayor and the city council. I have no doubt that behind the scenes, there's probably some rough discussions at times. But when it comes time for something for this community, they all come together. Everybody works together, and any stress or any discussion that stays at the door. They're there for the community, and I always appreciate that. And I hope that never changes in our community. All right, so everybody out here now wants to know how they can get involved. So if they want to reach out to you and find out how they can get involved in future events, how do they find you?
They can call me at 956-877-4867 is my work phone. They can come by the Mission Police Department and visit me there. I welcome. My doors are always open for our community.
That's awesome. I think you'll have some people come by. You better clear, a few hours of your day every day for that. But what an insightful conversation we just had about the City of Mission events coming up in the new year. I'm excited for it. And, I can't wait for all these events. I know, just recently we had a veterans parade that turned out great. We had my funeral home, we had a float in that. I guess it's not a float, it's a Bronco, but we'll call it a float. I don't have it in me what my dad used to do with all that. We got the Citrus Fiesta coming up, all kinds of stuff, staycation. I'm sure there's if you do 42 a year, there's a lot of events that you didn't even have a chance to mention.
There's tons. But we also are going to have those. We have them up every month. We have a community events, a calendar on our city website.
On the city website?
Yes. So
okay.
Any citizen can just log on and see what we're having. There are at our website or our Facebook page.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, let's reconnect next time, y'all. We want to hear other leaders from the City of Mission and connect with them. Here at the Greater Mission Chamber of Commerce, we believe that your success is our success. Now, we're on to a word from our sponsors.
At J&S Construction Management, LLC, we deliver exceptional construction services with precision and attention to detail. From start to finish, we collaborate closely with clients to bring their vision to life. Whether it's commercial or civil needs, our experienced team prioritizes quality, safety, and efficiency. We ensure your project stays on track, on budget, and on time with communication and commitment to excellence. Trust us to turn your ideas into reality with proficiency and dedication every step of the way.
Thank you to everyone for listening to the Commerce Conversation, Business, Community, and Innovation. If you've enjoyed today's podcast, we're going to ask that you subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. Don't forget to follow the Greater Mission Chamber of Commerce online for more updates and content. We look forward to having you all join us again for our next episode. Also, On behalf of the Greater Mission Chamber of Commerce, we'd like to wish you and all your families a happy Thanksgiving.